Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today I've got a box from Yeslak, which I will admit I've already opened this box and taken a lot of the packing and stuff out of this box prior to showing anything on the video, just because pieces are all wrapped up and I was just unwrapping them individually. So what are they? They are the armrest covers in like a forged carbon fiber. So I believe that we've got longer and shorter pieces. I believe it's the shorter pieces that fit on the back doors. So just taking one of these out, you can see the nice kind of forged look versus the weave look here. And sure enough, it looks like this piece simply fits, I guess I'm close to an airport, simply fits right over the edge here and here. Now obviously we would want to take some of our primer, our little cloths here, unwrap those and clean off the bottom. Now, so one thing I noticed in trying to test fit this piece is, see how that pretty much kind of comes down at a right angle? But that's not actually what happens there. It's, I don't know, more subtle, not quite 45, but it's not 90 either. So this is actually going to require just a little bit of trimming right here, and I can certainly do that with, you know, any sort of sharp tool I have to make a slight angle, and that will allow that to fit better in here, because again I did kind of a test fitting and that was flexed out a bit. So I'm going to take the front door piece, this was on the back door, I'm going to take the front door piece and do a little test fitting up there, see how that is. Okay, so I've done a test fitting here in the front, and I will caveat that I've got these little inserts that I have that I 3D printed and put in here, and I've got one that even blocks this so that people don't accidentally pull up on that emergency release. But from that standpoint, and again, I haven't used the double stick tape or anything to try to hold these down yet, but I do like, you know, how they've curved this out. It fits up well, you know, against there once you push this all the way in. Likewise, fits up well on this end. It's nice and rounded, doesn't block anything, doesn't block any of the controls. You know, I can easily press that. So I will actually now pull these back off, do the cleaning, peel the strips off the back of the adhesive, and then get these pressed down all the way. Welcome back. Just wanted to take a look at these carbon fiber pieces from Yeslak that have been on the doors, or, you know, on the door armrest area here now for really about, I think, 2 weeks, because you know, much like these upper pieces, which I put on and I never actually use the adhesive, and they fit tightly, snugly, doesn't seem to be a reason to do so. These pieces, however, you can see there's a little bit of gap here, and I can press in on that to get rid of some of that. You can probably also see I can press down on this, see how that, I can press down on that piece to make that fit tighter. This piece probably a little bit tighter. That's not bad back there. This front piece right here, probably a little bit, needs to be down a little bit. So, you know, by putting it on and just having my armrest on it and using it for a couple weeks like this, you know, I think it fits better than it did when I first put it on. It's kind of, you know, sort of molded itself to that armrest. But it's not, you know, it's not perfect. So I am going to take this back off, peel the adhesive on the back side of it. There, I can just lift that up like so. Peel these adhesive pieces off, and then there's a lot of them, and then we'll try putting it back down and see if we can't get it to stick better. I'm also going to wipe this down with one of the adhesive promoter pads, just so that we make sure it's nice and clean before attempting to adhere this piece to it. So stand by for that. Okay, I got all of the red covering off of the adhesive strips, so now I'm going to work on putting this on the armrest, which I did just clean off with some adhesive promoter. Okay, so I've applied this piece. It's not an exact perfect fit. There are a couple little tiny little bits of black you can see there. This piece here, even though I've got adhesive on the back side of it and it's pushed up against that, it's wanting to kind of flex out a little bit. It seems to be holding now, but I really had to hold that down for a while. I don't know if maybe heating it up with a heat gun might have, you know, helped it a little bit there. I didn't do that, but it's a possibility. Oh, yeah, see, now I just heard it come away a little bit. So, you know, it seems to be like that whatever the carbon fiber has in its kind of setup and its flex, it's going to want to stay in that shape. So you just have to kind of plan accordingly. And again, I think it helped to have these pieces down for a couple of weeks and get most all of that flex out of them. Maybe a little bit more will happen in time. But I mean, still, it's a very good fit. I mean, I don't want to sound too negative here, but it's still a very good fit. You know, again, I'm just trying to maybe kind of look for perfection, or I'm used to, like I say, these upper pieces that fit oh so well without even needing the adhesive strips on them. So where these ones I think definitely do, you know, you do end up with a nice look. I think this forged carbon fiber is very nice. I want to thank Yeslak again for providing these pieces.